When you hear somebody say, I'm a MAGA supporter, what do they support? Because we tend to hang out with people who think like us, which is probably a bit of a problem.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we're trying to challenge ourselves to think in creative and interesting ways, then we want to hang out with some people anyway who think the opposite of how we think.
You said the older you get, the more resistant you are to change.
Yeah.
Isn't that just because you've done something for so many years and you're so fixated on that?
Yeah, I don't think it's...
I would guess from my perspective that most of the voters who I know who are conservatives and who did vote for Trump and everything, I would say that that's a lot of their reason behind it, not just because they...
If you came to this class because you wanted to hear answers to to things like this, you're in the wrong place, man, because you're not going to get them. And besides, that's not my job, man. My job is to get you all, to just complexify things. When you hear somebody say, I'm a MAGA supporter, what do they support? What do you think in your mind? Now, again, you ready here? What do they support? Not what do they, so I'm going to ask the question differently. That's the question. But it's like, what in your mind are you thinking that they support?
I mean, I'd say that the majority definitely do just support Donald Trump and his presidential campaign. But I do think that there's a smaller portion that is just supporting MAGA for the betterment of the country in their eyes. So, yeah, that's my take on it.
Okay, we're going to come back to what the betterment of the country means, but yeah, Daniel, how about you? Like, what do people support when they say, like, yeah, I'm a MAGA supporter? What is it? What's MAGA to them?
I think they just support like they support Trump, of course, but they support, in their view, what they seem like traditional, like no transgenders in sports, or like illegal immigration, no good, like shut down the border. So like everything's like cultural and just social.
So tradition.
Tradition.
So it's like so tradition is what has historically been true or historically been happening. So there's a way in which they want to really, a lot of the changes that are taking place, like you said, some of the gender stuff, they're like, yeah, no, we don't like that. So that's what comes to mind when you hear that. Ellie, how about you? What do you?
I kind of think that they want the world to be how they want the world to be, and they don't often particularly care if other people don't like it or how it comes to be, as long as they want it to be great again, right? So it's their definition of great is what they're looking for.
So MAGA supporters tend to be people who really are trying to kind of push their vision of life onto other people, is how you see.
In my opinion.
And yeah. So what's the overall message of MAGA, of the brand? What's the overall message? We've kind of touched on it a little bit here, I think. But Allie, what would you say? What's the overall message, man? The MAGA message, man.
Like, what does it stand for?
Yeah, no, just the brand thing. Like, what's their messaging? Like, I mean, it's Make America Great Again, but like,
right.
What's that? What's it mean? Like, what are they really trying to push through?
I think, like, stereotypically, so, like, again, not everyone that says, I support MAGA, I voted for Trump, etc., fall under this category, in my opinion. But it's, again, in my mind, this is what we want, this is how we think we can get it, this is what we're going to do. Get on board or get out of the way.
And how many people in your life are MAGA supporters, by the way?
Quite a few.
Yeah?
Well, in my, like, everyday life, not a ton, but, like, extended family. Coatesville's very, very, very diverse. And the surrounding towns are also very, nowhere near as diverse. They're more politically diverse. So I've experienced pretty much everything.
So a lot of not your like immediate closest friends. So if your closest friends are not MAGA people, that means you're probably not a MAGA person.
No.
Because we tend to hang out with people who think like us, which is probably a bit of a problem.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we're trying to challenge ourselves to think in creative and interesting ways, then we want to hang out with some people anyway, who think the opposite of how we think. Because, you know,
Do roommates count?
yeah, roommates count. I
Then
think you got
I'm-
MAGA roommates?
Potentially.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Oh, you haven't
I don't
found
want.
out yet?
No, I don't want to like expose them. But
No.
yeah.
What do you mean expose them?
Well, I don't know if they would want me getting up here like sharing their political identity with all these people.
Why not? What's wrong with sharing political identity?
I don't know. They're pretty private people.
Uh-huh.
So like I don't care, but like they might care.
So I have a question. Let me just ask you this question. I want to stick with you for a second.
Great.
If you said, I have roommates who use women, are they women?
Yeah.
They use, or men, doesn't really matter, but they use makeup or don't use makeup.
Right.
It wouldn't really matter.
No.
What's the difference between political beliefs and beliefs about makeup? I'm asking out of deep
I
curiosity.
mean, like in my
'cause
mind, one says more about you as a person than the other, and like the values you have.
They both share about values you have. I think, to me, they're about equal, really. I mean, wearing makeup is a lot about, I don't know, it's values. I don't know, it's just... All right, bro, how many people in your life are MAGA people?
I don't think I have a lot of MAGA people. I know my cousin, he voted for Trump, but he says he doesn't support him no more.
So he didn't really vote. Uh-huh. What do you think, what's the overall message of the brand, of Make America Great Again? What does that mean? And hold the mic close.
I think it means like they're saying that America is great when I feel it's great. So
When I feel it's great. Was it great? Do you think the idea is it was great at some point? Well, again, obviously. When was it great? Like, when do you think they think it was great?
I think they think it was great when there was not like a lot of change, and then it was like America was more conservative. Like,
Yeah.
For like traditional marriage,
Or maybe just change, right? Has anything changed in your life that you're just like, hey, man, I don't know if I'm really comfortable with this? Or you're kind of young. The three of you are kind of young, but do you have anything that comes up?
No, not really. I embrace change. Like
Yeah.
I have no problem with anything.
Well, it's easy when you're 20, man. Wait till you get my age, and you like things start to happen, and and you start finding yourself saying, "Wait, hang on, I just got used to this. Now I got to deal with this."
Sam,
All right.
do you think that's going on adaptability? You said the older you get, the more resistant you are to change.
Yeah.
Isn't that just because you've done something for so many years and you're so fixated on that?
Yeah, I don't think it's resistance to change. I think change, it's really about, it's just more difficult. Like, look, when I'm walking like this my whole life, and then I go to my chiropractor, and my chiropractor says, dude, don't walk like that anymore. Really, you got it. You need to pull your shoulders back, and you need to walk this way. And then it's hard. It's just more difficult. So I think that's what it is. So as much as you can want it, it's more difficult.
So do you think it's entirely down to attitude, or do you think it's partially down to just because it's like a habit?
Yeah, it's habits. There's habits.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's a lot of habits that people have that in 30 years, you're going to try to change those habits, and you're going to have a hard time. All right, bro, what do you think the message is?
I think that, well, first off, I definitely think that the message kind of gets clouded by the overall image of MAGA being this like almost cult-like following for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I think that the message itself isn't intrinsically a bad thing. Wanting and being a little selfish, wanting your country to be better, wanting more of your products purchased, more production and jobs. I don't think that's a bad thing. And that's honestly, for the most part, what I think of when I think of making America great is bringing it back to a more America forward idea.
So the idea is somehow the United States got pushed behind, or somehow we slowed down, or something got in the way, and so you think that that's really a big part of the message?
I do, and I would guess from my perspective that most of the voters who I know who are conservatives and who did vote for Trump and everything, I would say that that's a lot of their reasoning behind it, not just because they follow Donald Trump and they agree with every policy he has.
Mm-hmm. Were you going to add something? to that?
Could you see it on my face?
What's
I
that?
said, could you see it on my face?
Yeah, I saw you grab your mic.
I think
By
that.
the way, you guys can respond to each other.
I think
too.
that a lot of times it gets pushed policy first, and when the subsequent consequences of a lot of these policies hurt so many people, that kind of, I get what you're saying when you say like clouds it, right? Because it definitely does. And there's definitely people, like the people in my life that I know voted for Trump and I don't necessarily group them under MAGA because I know they're more fiscally conservative and fall under that category, or religiously conservative, but that's a whole nother topic. I think that when the policies do hurt so many people, that is the image that clouds it. And when it's hindering humanity, is that cloud worth it? Right? Like, is it valid?
Okay. You just opened up. Do you have something you want to ask her? There's like, she
Not
just,
right now, no.
No, she just opened a huge door. Right?
Sorry?
No, you did. Here, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Policies always hurt some people.
Very
Biden's
true.
policies hurt people. Obama's policies
Very
hurt
true.
people. So, what about when those policies hurt people? How is this different?
Right. I think it's always like a scale, in my opinion, right? And it's like, remember like the Venn diagrams you had to do in like elementary school and like a seesaw, right? So I think that comes down to like each individual person and the values that they have and what they place higher importance on.
Okay.
And so again, just personally, I will make an individual sacrifice in terms of myself if I know that it can benefit more people in the long run. But that's something I'm okay with. That doesn't mean that everyone else is okay with it.
Okay, I got you. Okay. So listen, if you're those of you watching the stream, I like that. That's a really good answer. I mean, it's nice. So you're basically all saying like, people have this idea that y'all are a bunch of woke leftists, which is not the case, by the way. I'll just tell you this. 25% of the people in here are conservative and voted for Trump. More than 25% voted for Trump, but 25 are really conservative. A lot of people voted for Trump that are not really conservative. 25% are really liberal, like really liberal. And 50% are just like right in the middle. You're just like, yeah, whatever, a little here, a little there. That's how your classmates break down, okay?